All right, all right, all right. I think we are live. So, welcome everybody to the weekly live broadcast here on LinkedIn of the Career Alchemy um, session that I do. And today we're at a different time. It's earlier on Tuesday morning versus my normal Wednesday because I will be going downtown to an event. But I want to welcome you all here if you're watching live or if you watch it on the recording. And just I'm ever grateful for those of you who do take a gander and share it or tell other people about it. Uh, I am a career coach, a little bit different. I call myself a career wayfinder coach. I work with clients privately or through Career Alchemy Academy, and that is a membership community. And so I will occasionally talk about that and sometimes even have a QR code so you can learn more about me and working with me. But today, over my shoulder, the QR code is for an event that I'm having this Friday, noon Central Time. It's going to be amazing with the wonderful Janine Firpo. So Janine Firpo is the author of Activate Your Money. We'll talk about that. She is creating a movement to educate women on all the different ways they can invest their money and empowering them to align their values with how they flow their money through savings and investment. And she's amazing. And I'll tell the story of how I came to know Janine on the call on Friday. It is a free event, so you can hold your phone close up to that QR code and register, or you can go also to my website, and in the resources section, the first on the drop down, the top one will take you to the registration page. And I also, thinking about all that, I also want to celebrate something. I talk about it quite a bit actually inside of Career Alchemy Academy, that we need to remember to really celebrate all these milestones, big and small, in our lives. And this event is actually a milestone for me. So as I work with women on, in their careers, and there's several different types of milestones that you might recognize in your career. Your first offer, your first job, your first promotion, your first six-figure salary, your first opportunity to lead others, your first you know, uh, interaction with the executive team, like all of these um, types of things are milestones worth celebrating. As an entrepreneur and as a CEO of a business, we have milestones ourselves, different types of milestones. It could be revenue milestones. It could be, having a full team of engaged employees as a milestone. For me, given that most of what I do is virtual coaching and virtually leading Career Alchemy Academy, a milestone was reached this week when I had to upgrade my Zoom membership, uh, subscription, because we are approaching the number of people registered for the event on Friday is approaching the number of people I was capable of hosting at one time live. So I mean, it's I know it seems weird, but for those of you who get it, it's I couldn't believe it that I was actually at the point where an event was going to be attracting um, enough people that perhaps I might be breaking the Zoom feature. And so I upgraded. And we know that the number of people who are registering aren't necessarily the number of people who will attend, and perhaps I won't get anywhere near the number of the basic plan of Zoom. But just in case, I upgraded, and that's a celebration. So I just wanted to share it with all of you out there. So look for those, and I'm paying more money and still I'm celebrating, right? So look for those investments that you're making in yourself. that are worth celebrating, as well as those external measurements that you can be celebrating, but also look for those internal measurements. And again, we talk about expanding our capacity for uncertainty inside of Career Alchemy, expanding our capacity to hold both and. So if you've been through a hard time recently, or perhaps going through one right now, celebrating that you are able to uh, manage those emotions, be with all of the upheaval, and still get stuff done in your career and in your lives and for your families. That's all we're celebrating. So if I had the ability, and I don't know if I do, but I'll see. Yeah, I've never tried this, so I'm going to do a reaction on here, a celebration reaction, and hopefully you're seeing that out there on in LinkedIn land. And hopefully I didn't just screw everything up by doing that. But let's just assume I didn't. And you're all still here with me as we move towards today's topic. So the title of the topic is You're Doing Your Elevator Pitch All Wrong, and here's what to do instead. And as a career coach, I have trained many a person on their elevator pitch. And I have followed what I consider to be sort of the, maybe, I don't know, I would call it the silver standard now that I know the gold standard of elevator pitches. So the silver standard of elevator pitches, which basically is you introduce yourself, you tell them what you do, um, how you do it perhaps, and then you may end with some sort of call to action depending on the circumstance. So if you're at a networking event, you may say, and I'm looking for introductions to the C-suite, like CIO or CTO or CHRO or chief digital, whoever it is, you're looking for that introduction to help you pursue career opportunities. Or other types of call to actions. Like my call to action might be, hey, come to the Janine Firpo event, or hey, schedule a call to talk about coaching with me, or hey, join Career Alchemy Academy. So that might be the standard: who you are, what you do, how you do it, why, the value you bring, right? And some sort of ask. So that would be now we're calling it the silver standard of elevator pitches. But I learned the gold standard. So was at an event last week at the beautiful Union League of Chicago. And if you've never been there, it's historic. It holds the second largest art installation outside of the Chicago Arts Institute in Chicago. It has just exploring all the floors, and they have many of them. And the artwork on all those floors is a day excursion with your family. It's just a beautiful place. And so we were there for an event with PWCC, Professional Women's organization that I am a member of. And we were there to see Leora Gross, who is an executive at Google. And she was going to be talking about leadership and AI and how leaders can sort of the impact of AI on leadership and teams. So it's a fascinating conversation, great speaker. She's wonderful. And I was looking forward to going, invited some of the alchemists to come along with me. And we sit around a table, and this is normal at PWCC events, and we get a really great, the thing about PWCC, shout out, is their focus on creating connection through through different ways, networking opportunities. But at every event, we always have a speaker. At every of their monthly events, luncheons, we have a speaker, and then we have a table moderator who goes around and asks everyone to tell them how they heard about PWC, and then to give their elevator pitch. And if there's an ask, permission to ask, right? Which is always nice. And so I've been a member for a while. I've done this a lot of times, and I've given my silver standard of an elevator pitch. And there was a table of 8 of us there was 8 women at this table, and we all went around and gave what basically the silver standard. And some people brought a little bit of the brazen energy. Some people brought some calming energies, some playful energy, and that, a little bit of a differentiator to perhaps just the introduction. Hey, my name is, this is what I do, this is the value I bring, and this is what I'm looking for. But overall, they were basically all the same until we got to Michelle Kelly. So Michelle Kelly, co-founder of K plus L Storytellers. You can find her out on the interwebs. She, and you can find her on LinkedIn, and she's one of my connections. So, that's, you'll know you have the right one if I'm connected to her, I guess I would say. But so Michelle, it's Michelle's turn. And again, you can tell a little bit because the name of her company is K plus L Storytellers. So she approached the elevator pitch slightly differently. And she asked us to imagine that we were sitting above the earth, looking down at all these little pockets of light, and we recognized them as campfires. And then she said, and so she was giving some descriptors and really tapping into our imaginations and asking us to imagine these things, which is the first step in the gold standard elevator pitch, by the way, is to invite people to imagine something. So draw this story, right? So she did that, and we can all imagine that we're seeing these campfires. And then she says, and what happens around campfires? So intriguing question. People tell stories. And she said, that's who I am. I'm a storyteller. I help companies and CEOs of companies, executives of companies, tell their story. And then she went on to give a little bit of more detail into that. But I looked around the table, like my body was on fire, like I'm tingling, and I'm looking at her, and then I look around the table and I notice that everyone's jaws are open. They were all experiencing what I had experienced, which was a jaw-dropping gold standard elevator pitch. She had taken us on a journey in a matter of 60 seconds that was unforgettable. It was unforgettable. So I came back to my office, and I was determined to create a framework that my clients could use for this gold standard storytelling format of an elevator pitch. And that is this 3-step unforgettable, make your unforgettable you elevator pitch process. So here's how it works. Step 1, imagine. So invite the people that, whether it could be on an interview, it could be on stage. We call it an elevator pitch, but it's really how you show people who you are, right? And there's all kinds of places that you can do that. Like I said, at a networking event like I did, on an interview. It could be how you introduce yourself on stage at a presentation, or even introduce others in a way in which you're telling their story a little bit. That's the first thing. So ask the people to imagine. So for example, mine would be, imagine that you're walking down a familiar career path. You're carrying a backpack filled with all your hard-won skills and experiences and opportunities and education and know-how, as well as your gifts that come naturally to you. They're all part of you. They're in this backpack that you're carrying as you walk down this path. So you get the picture? And second step is to paint the problem. So lately, that backpack feels heavier. It's some of the skills that you've been using are sort of, you're good at them, but you're sort of tired of them. You don't want to keep being that go-to person for those skills. They're no longer energizing you. And you notice that over your shoulder, the path is clear. You see some twists and turns, maybe some dead ends, but you were able to navigate that. You see yourself enjoying that career path for a time. But recently, you're feeling a little more exhausted, a little more burnt out by your career, a little more confused about why it isn't energizing you anymore. And you're also feeling what I like to call the career nudge for something different, maybe even a little differently ambitious, right? So there you go. I'm painting the problem a little bit. This backpack is getting heavy. And you notice, and now step 3 is showing the solution, right? Or how I would be the solution. If you've imagined that you're on this path and this path has energized you and served you for a while. Now it's starting to feel not as clear ahead of you. The skills, abilities that you've been using are maybe, past their time, their due date, right? And but the path is foggy. And then all of a sudden in the distance, you see a beacon, a light calling to you, and you know in your center that this is where you're meant to be, and that the work you're meant to be doing is there. Yet you aren't quite sure how to get there. The path is not clear, and you're feeling a little scared, some, imposter syndrome going on, some fear about changing what you've built, you know, and then you notice a presence next to you, and you turn and you see me, Lori Swanson, your career wayfinder coach, who is here to help guide you to your beacon, to get clearer about what that vision is, to set up the steps you're going to take to get there, to see if there's gaps we need to fill, and to really focus on your mindset so that you are thinking thoughts and feeling feelings that are going to reduce the confusion and reduce the fear and reduce the imposter syndrome. And we're going to do all of that. And now you're feeling peace. Even though the path is still not fully clear, you know you're going to get there because you have me, your career Sherpa, your career wayfinder coach, by your side. And so if that sounds like something that's resonating with you, if you feel the weight of that backpack, then reach out to me and let's get on a call and let's talk about working together. See what I just did? I had you imagine something that was very visceral, like you could feel this backpack, right? Or seeing the campfires, you could see those. And then I was drawing your problem of confusion and uncertainty and a desire for something different, but not clear how you're going to get there. And then I showed you the solution by working with me and being part of Career Alchemy Academy and these and connecting and all the things that we're going to work on so that you can reach your beacon more quickly than you would alone, more clearly, more calmly, and with way more fun than you would all on your own by using a career wayfinder coach. So for you, and in the blog that I always use, when I talk here, the kind of the repurposing of material, you can find it out on the website under career blog. The most recent one should be up there. And so you can listen back to this recording. LinkedIn keeps it on for a few days. And I think we have it out on our YouTube channel. I'm not sure if it's accessible to everyone, but maybe we'll start doing that. But in any case, you want to do the same thing. Like an example that you might use would be something like this. So again, it's invite them to imagine something, show the problem that they're having, and then show how you're the solution. Paint the problem and then show how you're the solution to that problem. So you might say, imagine you're a fly on the wall in a boardroom and a global digital transformation has just been approved. The energy is electric. Fast forward 6 months and chaos reigns. Timelines are slipping, morale is low, fingers are pointing, money budget is blown. Enter me. That's where I come in. I'm a seasoned tech leader who untangles complexity, aligns cross-functional teams, and turns failing projects into success stories on time, under budget. I'd love to discuss further my background and my expertise over coffee if that makes sense. A picture paints 1,000 words. A story is unforgettable. And when you create an elevator pitch that leads with story, when you tell a story, people don't just remember what you do, they remember you. When you lead with story, you become unforgettable. So if you want to reframe your elevator pitch and more, reach out to me. Let's talk. Join Career Alchemy Academy. It's a low cost of entry. Just join, and we have a call today at noon. If you joined right now, you would be invited. You would be there, and you could see everything that's happening, all the magic that's happening. And no matter what, come to the free event on Friday, meet Janine Firpo, listen to the conversation about her movement and what she's doing to support women, and help me take advantage of my Zoom upgrade. So that's it for today. Peace as usual. Love you all, and hope to be seeing you soon.